Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Keri A, and I am the host for this week's Teach Me Tuesday by Sparrow Living. With senior living communities for the active adult in Texas and soon in Arizona and North Carolina, Sparrow operates under the Sage, Mira, and Solea brands. Our topic today, Downsizing with Dignity, will help you deal with the apprehension of relocating to a community from your home because you don't know how to deal with the accumulation of furniture and personal belongings that you have collected over the years. After you are armed with the information we will cover today, you'll be able to see how you too can be living the maintenance-free lifestyle that Sage, Mira, Solea communities offer their residents. During the webinar today, if you have any questions, please type them in the comments field. After I finish going through the material, I'll address any questions that are submitted. All right, well, let's get started. First, let me tell you a bit about myself and my company. Keri Transitions is the nation's largest professional resource for senior relocation and the resale of household goods services, with over 200 locations nationwide. Each office is independently owned and operated, and staff are W-2 employees that are screened, bonded, insured, and trained. We are certified relocation and transition specialists, which is a professional mark of ethics and excellence in relocation and move management. I am the owner of Keri Transitions of Lake Norman, which is in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. My office opened in 2015, and I am also a certified senior move manager, which reflects both the volume of relocations and the education that my team and I have completed. By being a licensed auction firm in North Carolina, we are able to help our clients with online estate sales through our proprietary platform, ctbids.com, as well as in-person estate sales. We are blessed to have repeat client business as well as referrals from senior living communities, realtors, and estate attorneys. In summary, our goal at Keri Transitions is to reduce the stress for our clients and their families associated with downsizing and moving. All right, let's review the agenda for today's webinar. We will talk about people's perceptions of what downsizing is and look at ways that we can shift that perspective to, quote, right-sizing your living space. Next, how you can approach deciding what is really important to you now at this stage in your life. We will discuss how no longer needed possessions can be a blessing for others. There are things that you may have used in the past, but you won't need them in your new right-sized living arrangements. Lastly, today we will discuss different options that you may have for liquidating your unneeded possessions that have value. Let me pose the question for you to reflect on for a moment. What comes to mind when you think about downsizing? For most people, the connotation is negative. From downsizing meaning a company is laying off employees that are no longer needed, to being forced to leave behind something that you'll miss. Instead of that negative connotation, I'd like to suggest that you think of it as right-sizing your living environment instead. Now, if you are like most folks, you basically live in 3 rooms in your house: the bedroom, the family room or den, and the kitchen. Be honest with yourself. When was the last time you turned the lights on in the formal living or dining rooms other than to clean them? Those guest bedrooms have become more of a storage room for things you don't quite know what to do with, or maybe things that may need a little fixing to work again. Here is another example. When a high school graduate goes off to college and will live in a dorm, they make a list of the things that they will need in that space. And those things are their favorite pictures or artwork, their comforter, their pillows, and their clothing and accessories that will fit in that space. They live, quote, right-sized to the space that they have. So when you move to a senior living community, the floor space is not unlike what you're currently living in your home. And when you move, you live right-sized to the space and bring all of those things that are your favorites, make you happy, reflect who you are as an individual, and most importantly, fit into your new home. To gain some perspective, let's consider a situation where you currently live in a home that is 2,000 square feet, and you're considering moving to a 1,000 square foot apartment home. In this case, you will have half the space in your new apartment home as you do in your current home. Well, that could mean that you could take half of your current furniture, housewares, clothing, etc. You're certainly not going to take half of your kitchen table or half of your sofa. So how do you decide what to take? I recommend to all of our clients that a space plan of their new apartment home be drawn up to use in determining what will fit in the new space. It doesn't make sense to bring furniture that won't fit or bring more clothing than there is space in the closets. It's a waste of money to pay movers to bring those things. Instead, draw up a plan of the actual apartment home with actual measurements of where doors, windows, electrical outlets, and cabinets are. Then take measurements of your furniture you want to take and arrange it where it will fit in your space plan. A senior move management professional will make recommendations for you in your space plan. You'll want to make sure that everything is accessible around your new apartment home. But I always remind my clients, it is their new home and they have the final say what goes there. So how will you decide what to bring after considering what will fit in your new apartment home? Furniture is usually the first thing to focus on. If you have a chair or recliner that you like to sit in while reading or watching TV, that would be important. We also usually have a little side table next to us that we collect our pens and pencils and drinks and those sorts of things. You want to focus on furniture in your current home that is compact and can serve multiple purposes. For example, instead of choosing an end table, pick a small cabinet with drawers to store things in. Also, home decor, including pictures or artwork to hang on the walls, or silk plants and a few knickknacks that bring good memories. You'll want to weed out your clothing, shoes, and accessories, bringing only the pieces that fit you now and are in good condition. Usually your new apartment home will have a kitchenette, so you should bring a selection of kitchenware. A few plates, bowls, mugs for coffee, your coffee maker, those sorts of things. Also, you want to bring memorabilia like photo albums or scrapbooks. Those can remind you of special events and you can share it with your new friends in your new apartment complex. Above all, bring things that you use regularly and you love. On the flip side, there is usually a lot that can be left behind since you will no longer be maintaining a home. Excess furniture such as formal dining and living room furniture or guest bedroom sets. Outdoor yard tools, the lawn mower, paints, chemicals, and patio furniture is not necessary. Some new apartment homes might have small patios or balconies, and you could bring a few pieces to put out there. This would be the time to purge expired medications and toiletries, and outdated or broken electronics should not be moved. It is helpful if you do bring a flat screen TV, as it won't take up as much room as an older box TV. So how do you do it? How do you start this process? How to begin sorting through all of the personal possessions in closets, cabinets, attics, and basements. What I suggest is that you focus on a small area that you can easily complete and will give you a sense of accomplishment for starters. So, a linen closet, for example. Decide how long you want to work at it and set an alarm for that amount of time. And by all means, never start with photo albums or a chest of your child's childhood keepsakes. Those will get you distracted and you'll never get anything accomplished. For larger items like furniture, I recommend putting a sticker or post-it to give you a visual cue of what you've already sorted through. Or if you want to group together your favorite books or collectibles, put them on a shelf and mark that shelf with a sticker or post-it. You'll also want to designate an out-of-the-way area to accumulate the things you want to give to family or friends. Mark those with a different color sticker or post-it so you can distinguish those things from what you're taking with you. Create a separate area for things that need to be discarded, which can be broken down into categories such as donations, recyclables, items of value that are saleable, and things that just need to be thrown away. This process can be challenging and exhausting, so here are some helpful hints. In addition to setting a timer to keep you focused on the task at hand, I encourage clients to use the Ohio rule of thumb, and that stands for only handle it once. Meaning, as you are sorting through a kitchen cabinet, for example, look at the casserole dish and decide right then which pile it will go in. Keep, discard, donate, or sell. Handle it once, put it in one of those piles. You can also invite a friend or neighbor over to help you see your things in a more realistic light. Or you can bring in a professional to work with you through this sorting process to help keep you on task and to provide the extra heavy lifting support that you may need. And it's important to be decisive as you go through making decisions. Don't revisit them, and don't have a fifth pile that you call to be determined. In the next slides, we will discuss 3 options for getting rid of items you no longer want to keep: donations, recycling, and selling items of value. As you are downsizing, there are many things that can be donated to local charities. An overarching criteria as you consider donations is that the item should be in good condition. Clothing shouldn't be torn or stained, kitchen appliances should be in working condition, and furniture shouldn't be broken. Charities are not able to repair things that you have kept around in your house to be fixed just because you believe they can be. So you'll see on the next slide, the things like clothing, furniture in good condition can be donated. Linens such as sheets, towels, blankets, which are not torn or stained, can be donated. Kitchenware such as pans, plates, bowls, flatware, glasses can also be donated. Tools and equipment in working order can also be donated. Do some research in your area to see what charities accept the different categories of items. Here in Charlotte, we donate to the Habitat Restore, Crisis Assistance, Christian Ministries, Goodwill, and Salvation Army. Local food banks like Second Harvest in Charlotte will accept non-perishable food items. Next, we will look at recycling as an option for disposing of things that are no longer of need. Check with local pharmacies in your area to see which ones will dispose of expired or unneeded prescriptions. That is preferable to flushing them down the toilet. Household hazardous waste, such as chemicals used for fertilizer, furniture stain, automotive fluids, or pesticides, should not be thrown away in trash. Contact your local solid waste management company for options in your area. Some have locations that things can be driven to dispose of, and then some communities have semi-annual household hazardous waste curbside pickup. Local dumps may have areas where you can bring the old box TVs, computer monitors, or other electronics to recycle. Before we look at the pros and cons of the different ways that professionals can help you liquidate your items that you no longer need in your new right-sized apartment home, I always like to level set my clients' expectations for selling items that they deem to have value. In general, antique furniture sells for a fraction of what you may have paid. And your grandparents' antique furniture may have cost quite a bit in their time, and they had all sorts of memories of sharing meals around the dining room table with family. But those things don't determine market value. Market value is simply the amount someone is willing to pay right now for the items you need to sell. So let's take a look at the pros and cons of online auctions, in-person estate sales, live on-site auctions, and live off-site auctions. If you are uncomfortable with the buying public knowing your address or walking through your home, an online auction is the best choice. Only the winning bidders for items will know your house address and will come to your home only to pick up their winning items. Online auctions run longer than in-person estate sales or live auctions, which mitigates the possibility of bad weather or something else preventing customers from visiting the sale. With any type of auction, be it online or live auction, prices of items for sale are driven up by competition versus an in-person estate sale where items for sale are initially priced and then are discounted if they do not sell. Also, with any type of auction, things are grouped into lots and customers take everything in the lot if they are the winning bidder. This eliminates having things left over after a sale, like you do with an in-person estate sale. With an in-person estate sale, there are always things left over that customers didn't purchase. And finally, with an online auction, the client receives a report listing all of the lots in that auction and the highest bid on that lot, so they will know how much their things sold for during the online auction. As I begin to wrap up this week's Teach Me Tuesday, I hope the information I've shared and these key takeaways help you in your journey to live a right-sized lifestyle in a Sparrow Living community. Every journey starts with a single step. Planning makes for a successful transition. And remember, there is help out there. Let me check and see if we have any questions. Okay, no questions came in. All right, so I am going to share my contact information. If you're in the Charlotte area and you'd like to reach out to me for a free consultation, my phone number, email address, and website are on the screen. Also, as I mentioned, Caring Transitions has over 200 locations across the country. You can visit caringtransitions.com, click on locations on the menu bar, and then it'll take you to a page where you can search by zip code or browse through a state-by-state list. Thank you for being with us today, and I hope you have a pleasant rest of your afternoon.